Hello, everybody. What better way to start this off by taking a picture? So if everyone just smiles for me. Remember these? TBT, right? One more. Great. I'll get back to that in just a second. The study of architecture allows people to take abstract concepts and turn them into towering works of art. The structures that they build become places that we live, learn, and even worship in. The work of the architect kind of provides an added dimension, a sense of life that is forever ingrained in our ideas of human achievement. Buildings become pop culture icons. They become places that represent hope. And throughout my entire life, I've always found it really comforting to know that the work of one person could impact society in such a strong way. Now, if you think about it, photographers and architects are kindred spirits. While a photographer uses light, an architect uses bricks and mortar as their aesthetic utility. A camera allows a photographer to bend, mold, and shape light in ways that allows them to enhance their subject and really bring an idea out into the public. And as a conservation photographer, I want to use my photography and impact the world in the same way that architecture impacts the world. But photographers wield a heavy sword. They have the responsibility of taking pictures of places that people may have never seen before. They photograph real events that they've seen with their own eyes, and then they show it to the world. What I find so fascinating is that the right picture can give you chills. The right picture can draw society into a single moment in time. Photographers cover so many emotions. Their pictures can be so powerful that they can bring on social change and awareness. And when they really do it right, sometimes they can be so emotional that they topple entire governments. What I'm suggesting is that if photographers are architects of light, can they not be architects of change? I took this question to a place that needs our help, and it became my life's passion to tell this story to anybody willing to listen. It's blazingly hot in the morning. It's misty during the day. It's a place that has a way of punishing you when you try to learn from it and baptizing you in its rivers when you need it most. As Werner Herzog once said, "I love this place, but I love it against my better judgment." Kind of explains it. But this place, with all the lessons it's taught me and all the lessons it's yet to teach, is disappearing, and I want to stop it. The place I'm referring to is the Peruvian Amazon. It's a biological, cultural, social, industrial, anthropological gold mine. It's a place that is almost, it's a place where the whole world's, every single environmental issue that you could ever think of collides. It's a game of Sims gone completely haywire, and you and I are holding the controller. These forests are libraries full of information, and we're just burning them to the ground. But I didn't come to this realization like that. I didn't say, oh my God, the Amazon, we need to save it. In fact, as a child, I'd always wanted to be a wildlife photographer. I wanted to travel the world taking pictures of all the different biodiversity this place has to offer. There's so much to see out there, and I just wanted to be that photographer that showed all of my friends the window into the different worlds. But as I started to see things that really shook me to the core. As I was flying into the Amazon, I saw the irreparable damage of gold mining. When I landed, I saw poaching in public form in the markets of Cusco. And then finally, when I got to my favorite river, the Las Piedras River, the river that I want to protect, I saw logging happening at incredibly unsustainable rates. I realized that this was a problem that was happening consistently, and it was going on 24/7. And I was angry. I began to vilify the people involved in this, and I just wanted to keep taking pictures to show people how much we're losing. But then I saw this. The only way I can describe this image is abject misery. You can see this juvenile howler monkey clinging to this young girl as if he's looking for some comfort, like a baby would with its mother. But if you just take a look into this monkey's eyes, you start to realize that something's incomplete here. The monkey belongs with its mother in the forest, and it's sitting in a town somewhere with this young child. But rather than dwelling on that and how sad that was, it really got me thinking. It got me thinking about the interconnectivity between people, the forest, and the animals that live there. And I realized that people live there. It's their backyard. The Amazon is somebody's backyard. And there's a lot to learn from these people. And there's not everyone there is bad. Not everyone there is a person that is out to destroy the forest. And I understood then that the issues plaguing the Amazon were far more complicated than what meets the eye. And that's when I decided I was a conservation photographer. But when you're photographing in the Amazon, it's not an engagement or a wedding. Nobody's paying a conservation photographer to bring the ideas that they have to life. So the challenge as a conservation photographer is to kind of show the hidden value in things. Get someone to look at an image long enough to get them to start thinking about what that image actually means. And that's the impact a picture can do into conservation. Let's kind of talk about what is going on right now in conservation, the less abstract ideas. Many of us have seen statistics and information on the amount of forests we're losing every day, the football fields that we're losing. Many of us have heard stories of the iconic species that live in these places and how important they are to forests. There's so many pamphlets and infographics that you can see all over subways, all over the world, that talk about how much places need our help and what those places do for us. But these approaches have one single factor in common. They're all attempting to justify the significance of living things. Justification. It's kind of an interesting facet of human logic. We ask ourselves questions like this every day. We do it to ourselves every single day. Am I making enough money for the job that I have? Did I waste my day today? And while these questions are important for us, there's a different approach. There has to be a different approach to conservation. Consider how we enjoy a photograph. Do we look at an image because we know it'll provide us with a physical benefit? No. In fact, we look at an image and simply enjoy the contents of it as a work of art. See, a photograph has this unique ability to illuminate the darkest corners of a story in a way that no amount of words, facts, or statistics could ever begin to justify. While many of the approaches we take to conservation are heavily rooted in justification, sometimes it's about showing people the beauty that's all around us, and that all these animals survived through evolution and competition is a fact that's remarkable enough, and it should be appreciated at face value. We've been a species that's been so successful at what we do, and we need to start considering our role as a piece of the puzzle, not a player apart from it. Because when you're standing beneath a towering kapok tree, the accomplishments of man somehow become muted by the accomplishments of nature. We should challenge each other to appreciate more and justify less. Now, I took this picture with a Polaroid, which I'm sure no one's heard in a long time. I use the tools that I know, the light in this room and my camera. And everyone in this picture has tools of their own. I encourage you to explore them. I encourage you to use them so we can start building conservation together. Thank you.